ghosted by this chick after I walked her fucking dog, but pushing through. I'm a remote worker, work remotely. Anybody else remote workers in the house?
Yeah.
All right, a light clap. That's about how much you get out of a remote worker. You know, there's only so much steam left after working in your underwear all day. So demoralized. I've been doing it a few years now. I've been doing it too long because it just disconnects you from reality, doesn't it? You know, like nowadays, like the other day, I farted on a Zoom call. You know?
Wow.
And you might ask, like, was it loud? And yeah, it was loud. But you might ask, well, did you have the sense to mute your microphone? And I actually did mute the mic. So the people on the Zoom call, they might not have heard the fart. It was just the people at the New York Public Library were acting kind of weird about it. I think we're just too reliant on technology in general. Like everything's an app. Even therapy's an app. Anybody on BetterHelp? Anybody heard of this?
Heard of it.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of BetterHelp, you've probably heard of Spirit Airlines. BetterHelp's like this really shitty therapy app. It's basically like chat roulette for therapy. You can just skip therapists and try to find one you vibe with. I've known it's shitty because I've known a few people who used it, but my girlfriend wanted therapy and she was trying to find it cheap. She's like, oh, I found this thing, BetterHelp. I think I'm going to try it out. I didn't have the heart to tell her it sucked, so I was like, yeah, you try it out, you know, see. Didn't know how bad it was going to go, so she gets on there after her first session. She's like, it was kind of weird. The guy, you know, I told him that I wanted to connect with my mom better and work on that relationship. And right away, he was like really sympathetic. He was like, yeah, I also struggle with my mom. Our relationship's terrible. Like, she actually told me I was the biggest mistake she ever made. And I was like, damn. And I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure they are just matching the patients together and a writing therapist at the bottom of both screens, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see, I'm addicted to social media. Anybody, how's everyone's tech addiction going? Pretty strong? Pretty healthy? Yeah. Yeah, the other day, you know, I'm addicted to watching the reels on Instagram, and the other day I was driving my car and I pulled up to a red light, like a little fiend. I just needed to look down and watch a couple, you know? And when I looked back up, the red light was now yellow. So I might have missed a step there. And I was thinking, like, how is it the one time nobody's behind me honking? And I look in my rear view, and there are 5 cars behind me, but every face is just lit up, staring straight down. So I think we're in a bit of an issue. I think, you know, I found out that social media, it actually lowers your IQ. Daily use. It came out in a study. You know, doesn't that remind you of like lead? Is there like, it's gotta be, I think we're gonna ban social media and we're gonna look back someday the way we look back at Coca-Cola when it had cocaine in it. Just like, how is that shit legal? You're gonna see an old iPhone like in a gutter on the side, like a crack pipe, you know. Someone's gonna go pick it up. They're like, don't touch that! They can have TikTok in it! Speaking of addictions, are there any sex addicts in the house? Woo! All right. All the men. I thought maybe only Nick was the first confirmed. I'm definitely a bit of a sex addict, which sex addiction is definitely something that sounds cooler than it is. I think it's the only addiction that sort of seems quite impressive, you know? Because I think people think a sex addict is someone who's just can't stop getting laid. In reality, it's more like they're just addicted to porn and straight clubs and shit. And I struggle with the porn. But I can't quit it, so I decided I'll just start watching it with blue light glasses. And it seems to cancel out, I think, most of the toxic vibes. You ever wonder what like, an incel would think when he finds out about sex addiction? They're like, you're addicted to sex? I can't even get it one time! I think we could cure sex addiction medically, kind of the way we're curing like food addiction with... what was that drug you mentioned earlier?
Ozempic.
Ozempic, right? Ozempic makes you feel like you're full, you don't want to eat. And I think we just need something that makes you feel like you just came. I think that would cure sex addiction completely. You know, because we use even for like curing heroin, other addictions use Ibogaine. And I think we need something called I Just Came. You know? Because everyone's talking about post-nut clarity. But nobody talks about the issue of pre-nut delusion. You know, pre-nut delusion is really what drives sex addiction. Just I don't know what chemical is in cum that once it's out of your body, you're suddenly like a different person. But we also need to sell that drug. But yeah, I think we need to be selling some I Just Came and some post-nut Claritin. All right. Guys, that was my 7-inch Riley Duggan. Keep it going, heroes. All right.
Give it up for me one more time. It's always funny when you ask that question, are there any sex addicts in